No DQ Galaxy, we are live with a recap of Monday Night Raw for January 30th, 2023. We are coming off the Royal Rumble Premium Live event. Shout out to the early birds tuning in early in the chat room. Owen Williams, Calvin Bowman, Tick Tat Tat, Ryan Matthew Stewart, Gomer Kyle, K-Dog 28, Terry Mowers, Dave Scheffler, Andy Wasson, D. Martin Fifth, thank you all for tuning in early. Much appreciated. Now, let's get off to a start that is strong. And that, of course, is the Royal Rumble winner, Cody Rhodes, coming to the ring. We had a video package leading up to the Royal Rumble, and then the footage of him winning the match. He used his catchphrase, "What do you all want to talk about?" Well, I guess people wanted to know about his journey because that's what he talked about. He discussed being dashing Cody Rhodes, becoming Stardust, brought up how he had to leave and help the industry, i.e. forming AEW, but he did not say that. He talked about Roman Reigns, saying that WWE does indeed have more than one royal family. He has to stand across an entire bloodline at WrestleMania. The crowd chanted "Roman sucks," and Cody said that Roman Reigns can be the greatest superstar in the world, but after WrestleMania, he will no longer be the WWE Unified Champion. And we got people trolling me in the chat room. I be like, sheesh, Sunset on the Beach. I am so sick and tired of that commercial. It drives me nuts. And you guys need to cut it out in the chat room. Building Nexus with a $2 super chat says, will they honor Dusty Rhodes in the build to the match? Oh, you know they will. Dusty Rhodes will be mentioned many times. Cody will cry many times heading into WrestleMania. That is pretty much a given. But anyways, Judgment Day interrupted, and Dominic was upset that Cody ruined his moment. Damian Priest said that Rhea Ripley had to earn her win, being number 1, and Cody was handed number 30. I like how they actually acknowledged this. And then Dominic really went personal, said that he does not respect his father, Rey Mysterio, nor does he respect anybody else's father, including Cody's father, Dusty. The crowd started a kick his ass chant, and Cody said that he could play it safe and not do anything until WrestleMania, or he could, in fact, kick Dominic's or anybody else in Judgment Day's ass right there on Monday Night Raw. His music played. We got some match previews, but then all of a sudden Edge showed up. He attacked Judgment Day, and then Cody went to the outside of the ring and helped out Edge. Officials had to run down Pier 6 Brawl. And then we had the official confirmation, Finn Balor versus Cody Rhodes in the main event of Monday Night Raw. Psycho Jet Black with a $2 super chat says, why was WWE so insisting on Cody being Stardust? It's just Vince McMahon. I think maybe what happened was Cody was, in Vince's eyes, getting a little stale, and Stardust would give him some character. They had him be dashing Cody Rhodes. He had a mustache for a while, and he teamed up with Dustin, and they won the tag team titles, but maybe Vince thought, well, if Dustin is Goldust, maybe Cody could be something similar, and hence they came up with Stardust. And it was fine for that tag team, but once they split up and Cody was still Stardust, like, he was just stuck in that gimmick with no good place to go. Moving on here, we had Seth Rollins versus Chad Gable in a qualifying match for the Elimination Chamber. They are doing 2 chamber matches this year, as always, because you have to have a men's and a women's. The men's match is going to be for the United States Championship. And apparently, Roman Reigns will be defending against Sami Zayn in Montreal. That has not been officially announced, but that's the big rumor right now, and I'm all for it 100%. They're doing the United States Championship in the chamber, which I wish I cared more about the United States Championship. But if Austin Theory prevails, it'll make him look stronger going into the WrestleMania match against John Cena. I presume that's the match for the chamber. To me, that would make sense if Austin Theory picked up a big win to build him up for Cena. Rollins versus Chad Gable, good match, but one of those matches where you knew damn well Seth Rollins was not losing this. Gable did get in some offense. He hit a flying headbutt off the top. Rollins kicked out, and then Gable went for the moonsault. Rollins avoided that. Rollins hit the buckle bomb, but he was having issues with his knee. Chad Gable had been working over the knee, and they traded some near falls. Gable applied the ankle lock, but Rollins escaped. And then Rollins hit the pedigree, had a little bit of a delay, but still got the 1-2-3 victory over Chad Gable. I do like that he won with the pedigree. I'm always a fan of when they win with some different moves other than the one finisher, because it conditions the fans to think, well, there's several moves that could potentially end the match. I do like that. And yeah, no surprise that Gable lost. Good match here. Then we had Io Sky versus Candice LeRae with Michin, Mia Yim with the stupid name, at ringside to counteract the Damage Control members, Bayley and Dakota Kai. But guess what? Didn't really work out too well for poor Candice LeRae, who really hasn't been able to pick up much momentum since joining the main roster. She's been on TV a bit, but she seems to lose more often than win. And Candice could just not put away Io Sky. Hit a German suplex from the second rope. Io kicked out. Poison Rana, Io kicked out. And then we had the outside interference. Damage Control distracting the referee. Michin went after Dakota, and then Bayley got on the apron, and Candice attacked Bayley. Stupid baby face. Io Sky rolled her up and got the win. So yeah, Candice loses again. And guess what? Candice is going to be qualifying or attempting to qualify for the Women's Elimination Chamber match. More on that here in just a few moments. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of this match because, number one, Candice lost yet again. What are they building Io Sky up for? What they should be doing is building up some tag teams to challenge the tag team champions, you know? Why not? So that's the first issue. And then the second issue is you had Mia Yim Meacham, whatever her name is, and she's out there, and Candice still cannot overcome the odds. So yeah, even in a fair fight, she gets outsmarted. Just not a fan of this. Psycho Jet Black with a $2 super chat. Thank you for that. Says, how about Candice and Indy Hartwell as a tag team? Sure, why not? Good way to call up Indy Hartwell and reunite them. I would be fine with that. But yeah, we need some tag teams built up to challenge the champions. That should be more of a focal point on television. We had a Rhea Ripley video package, and then she came to the ring and she cut a promo to announce who she would be challenging for the championship at WrestleMania. Of course, Bianca Belair, Raw Women's Champion, and Charlotte Flair, SmackDown Champion. So she had those two options. She brought up Charlotte, how they had that match in 2020 at WrestleMania, right at the start of the pandemic, and Charlotte, in Rhea's own words, put her in her place. She gave Charlotte credit. Rhea said that Charlotte is always in the title picture, but gets better with each year. However, this year, things will be different. And at WrestleMania, Rhea Ripley said she will put Charlotte in her place. So yes, it is official. Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania, which I figured either one was a possibility. It seemed like people were more wanting to see Rhea Ripley and Bianca and have Rhea Ripley be the one to end Bianca's run as champion. I still hope that Rhea wins at WrestleMania and beats Charlotte. But the question is now, what happens to Judgment Day if Rhea wins the SmackDown Women's title? I mean, there will probably be a draft after WrestleMania, so they could easily fix that, move Judgment Day over to SmackDown. Hamp Connell sent in a $5 super chat, says, today in history, 2005, Batista and John Cena eliminate each other in the Royal Rumble, prompting Vince McMahon to restart the match while tearing both quads. Man, what a disaster that was, with Vince coming out there and having to sit there in the corner, not able to stand up. And yeah, the whole thing was ridiculous. And we'll talk more about Bianca Belair and the Raw Women's Championship here in just a few moments. We had Seth Rollins interviewed, and he was all happy and looking forward to the Elimination Chamber match. But then he was asked about Logan Paul eliminating him in the Royal Rumble. And Rollins had nothing to say, no comment in regards to Logan Paul. So they're planting the seeds for that at WrestleMania. And that should be a fun match. I mean, Roman Reigns and Logan Paul was a hell of a match. And if anybody can have a great match with Logan Paul, it would certainly be Seth Freakin Rollins. Next up, we had Baron Corbin versus Johnny Gargano in another United States qualifying match for the Elimination Chamber Premium Live event. Crowd was chanting bum ass Corbin, and Dexter Lumis was out there. And unlike the women's match, Dexter actually did his job in counteracting JBL. JBL was trying to provide a distraction, and Lumis pulled out his axe, which we saw him use back in NXT, and he put the axe right into JBL's cowboy hat, and Gargano took advantage of the situation and got the 1-2-3 victory with an inside cradle. Right guy won here going into Elimination Chamber. Match was fine. Not much to it. Pretty standard stuff. And then next up, we had the VIP Lounge. MVP bringing out his special guest. That person was the United States champion, Austin Theory. The two of them went back and forth, trading some insults. You had Theory bring up Bobby Lashley, how at the Elimination Chamber last year, he got F5'd off the pod by Brock Lesnar, still standing. And another reference to John Cena, Theory said that he is the ruthlessness that the new era of WWE needs, and there's no aggression that can stop him. Now, of course, we all remember John Cena's debut promo, the ruthless aggression. So yes, pretty clear it's Theory versus Cena at WrestleMania. And that's why I think like the only thing that makes sense is Austin Theory retaining the championship. And MVP and Theory continue to go back and forth. MVP said that Theory should be worried about his health, and Theory said that MVP should be worried about his own health, and how MVP's meal ticket is about to be chewed out by Brock Lesnar. That led to Bobby Lashley arriving, and Lashley wanted a piece of Theory. MVP tried to be the peacemaker, and Theory was like, listen to your daddy. And that pissed off MVP. So MVP, he went aside. He stepped aside. Lashley beat the crap out of Theory, went for the spear, but then Theory pulled MVP right in front of him, and Lashley accidentally speared MVP. And I guess we'll see what happens next with this. The plot thickens with these guys, but one would think we're still getting that Hurt Business reunion. They're doing a slow build for it. So pretty good segment here, continuing this storyline with Lashley and MVP. And then we had Finn Balor backstage cutting a promo, hyping up the main event. Hamp Connell sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you for that, Hamp, with another history lesson for everybody. Tomorrow in history, 2000, Chris Benoit, whoops, I said his name, Eddie Guerrero, Dean Malenko, and Perry Saturn show up on Monday Night Raw, and in his opinion, the biggest momentum shift in the Monday Night War. Well, I more consider it to be the final nail in WCW's coffin. Like the big momentum shift for me was probably, going back to as far back as Starrcade, with WCW dropping the ball in that Hogan Sting match. Although I like to think, let me put it this way. I like to think the real turning point, the real moment where WCW was screwed, was the DX invasion of Nitro. And when Eric Bischoff went out on television and challenged Vince McMahon, and he was so pissed off, and you could see it. You could see it that Vince got to him mentally. To me, that was the real turning point in the Monday Night War, when Vince got so much under Bischoff's skin that Bischoff went out there and he was basically shaking. Like he did not give a shit. He called out Vince McMahon. And when they started doing the hot shot turns, like turning Bret Hart heel, turning the Giant heel to go back to the NWO, to me, that was the real turning point in the Monday Night War. I consider the Benoit stuff to be like the final nail in the coffin. So anyways, here we had The Miz in the ring, and he was venting, pissed off about the Royal Rumble. People were chanting first man out. He demanded to be treated with respect. Pretty much the usual Miz promo. He's the Rodney Dangerfield of WWE. Adam Pearce then showed up and said, well, The Miz wants respect, wants an opportunity. He's going to get it. He's going to get an opportunity because there's another guy who wants an opportunity, and he's now a member of the Raw roster. And that person, the returning Rick Boogs, which I'm happy about. I'm a Boogs fan. I am a little disappointed, though, for two reasons. Number one, him and Shinsuke Nakamura were a great tag team. Like, those guys gelled very well. And I'm a little bummed out that they're not together anymore unless Nakamura gets drafted to Raw. Number two, Pat McAfee. McAfee always went crazy for Boogs' entrance and kind of made Boogs a star. Like, I credit Pat McAfee for getting Boogs over, just reacting to the guitar playing in the entrance and the dancing. So yeah, I'm thinking this wasn't the best move to put Boogs on Monday Night Raw. But we'll see what happens. Like there is potential because he could team up with Elias. A lot of people wanting to see that. They both play the guitar, so seems like a natural pairing. Maybe that'll be a lot of fun. Time will tell. Elias is doing absolutely nothing right now, so this could be a nice change of pace, and maybe they'll be a good tag team. Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat. Says he respects The Miz more than Mustafa Ali. Well, Mustafa Ali is doing this complaining gimmick, always upset, and he feels that Dolph Ziggler's getting all these opportunities. Walter wants to know where this storyline's going with Ali and Ziggler. I mean, they showed a little digital clip during Raw of Ali mad that Ziggler was getting an opportunity to be in the Elimination Chamber. He's kind of like a male Karen. I mean, they got Chelsea Green doing the Karen gimmick, but Mustafa Ali is like a male Karen. What's a male Karen? I'm not even sure what the slang term is for a male Karen. Somebody in the chat room help me with that. I know there's a term for a male Karen. But anyways, Rick Boogs came out. Miz did not want to fight. He was in a $10,000 suit that his wife got him. And Pierce said, tough shit. Didn't actually say that, but he said, too bad. Brought out a referee, and Boogs quickly beat The Miz. It was like a minute. Boogs did his power moves and had him up for the press and did the world's strongest slam, got the quick 1, 2, 3 victory. Is it a Chad? That's a male Karen? Anyways, regardless, Kyle, Chad, whatever. Yeah. That's pretty much what Mustafa Ali is at this point. A guy that's just complaining and whining and being annoying. Speaking of annoying, although I don't find them that annoying, but some might. American Alpha were backstage, and we saw MMM, and I thought they were on SmackDown, but I guess they're also on Raw. Did we have like a quiet brand trade or something that I was not aware of? Apparently, MMM are on Raw now, and they were, I guess, scouting out American Alpha, whatever. We had Bayley come to the ring for a promo, and she was bragging about how she eliminated Becky Lynch at the Royal Rumble, and Becky Lynch showed up, and she wanted to have the match that they were supposed to have at Raw 30. No more excuses. She wanted the cage match. Bayley said Becky is overrated, not even good enough for her husband, Seth Rollins, so she went personal there. And Bayley said no to the cage match. So Bayley, or Becky, I should say, said she knew Bayley was going to say no. She walked to the back and brought out a beaten down Dakota Kai and was going to destroy her ankle. So Bayley, under the pressure, accepted the match for next week. And then Becky said that Bayley may want to check on Io Sky backstage as well. So it looks like Becky took out Damage Control to get her match with Bayley, and Adam Pearce did make it official for next week's show. Psycho Jet Black sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Says, seriously, it's amazing that Ricochet has gotten a career resurgence despite his limited promo skills, killed while Mustafa Ali is left in the wayside. I feel bad for Ali, but yeah, the gimmick they have for him right now, like, is he a heel? Is he a face? Does anybody care? Like, he's gotten so many start and stop pushes. With Ricochet, he just got pushed, and then after the Brock Lesnar match, remember that, he pretty much faded to like the opening match, first, second match, and he was stuck there for like 2 years pretty much. Psycho Jet Black, thank you for that super chat. Much appreciated. And let's get back to this. We had Adam Pearce backstage announcing a second Elimination Chamber match, the women's match. The 4 final people in the women's qualified: Raquel, Liv Morgan, Nikki Cross, and Asuka. And next week, there will be a match to determine the 5th competitor in that match. Michin, Candice LeRae, and why I should care about Candice at this point when she loses so much, and why is she even getting a chance when she's been losing so much. Piper Niven, and the returning Carmella. Carmella is back. And then Chelsea Green showed up, as I mentioned earlier. She's doing the whole Karen gimmick, and she asked if Adam Pearce is the manager and said that she's had unacceptable accommodations, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I'm not sure about this gimmick. I guess I'll give it time, but this feels like it's going to be a dud, but we'll see. Maybe not. We had Rick Boogs interviewed backstage, and you had Elias and the Street Profits with him. He was very excited to be back, and a couple of matches were set up for next week. More qualifying matches for the Chamber. It's going to be Angelo Dawkins versus Damian Priest and Montez Ford versus Elias. I'm thinking at least Ford will get into the match. That'll be interesting to see Ford by himself. I do not see Dawkins advancing. I'm thinking it's a pretty safe bet to say that Priest advances. And we had Dolph Ziggler versus Bronson Reed in a qualifying match for the Chamber. Pretty much a squash match. Ziggler hit the zigzag, but Bronson Reed kicked out because, of course, nobody's losing to the zigzag in 2023. And Bronson Reed did pick up the win with the tsunami. Carmella was interviewed backstage, and she's doing her whole Mella is money shtick again. And then Asuka showed up. Asuka had nothing to say, but started having this blue substance come out of her mouth, and that very much grossed out Carmella. We had our main event of the evening, Cody Rhodes versus Finn Balor. First time ever. Good main event here. Crowd was into it. Cody got so much pyro that the ringside area was all smoky. And he hit the disaster kick, did a dive to the outside, but Judgment Day tried to interfere. Priest tried to attack him. Dominic got sent over the table. Cody basically fought them off. And he tried to finish off Balor with the Cody cutter, but he was caught. And then after the break, they traded some blows. Cody hit a superplex off the second rope, finally hit the Cody cutter. Balor kicked out. Balor avoided the figure 4, and Cody was sent to the outside. Judgment Day was right there, ready to pounce. But then Edge came back, ran down through the crowd, attacked Judgment Day. Then Rhea Ripley went after Edge, but that's when Beth Phoenix ran down and hit Rhea Ripley with the spear. Balor was going to hit the coup de grace on Cody. Edge got on the apron, and Balor was momentarily distracted. He missed the coup de grace, and then Cody hit not 1, not 2, but 3 crossroads and got the win. Man, he's going to need like a dozen of them to beat Roman Reigns. If 3 is what it takes to beat Balor, you damn sure know he's going to need a lot more to pin the tribal chief at WrestleMania. So good main event here. Looks like we're getting that mixed tag team match at the Chamber Premium Live event. Rhea Ripley and Finn Balor versus Edge and Beth Phoenix. And pretty good show overall. Crowd was hot. We got a lot set up for WrestleMania, got some stuff set up for the Chamber. So I'm giving it a solid B. Good Raw this week. Building Nexus with a $2 super chat says, well, that super kick a nod. Was that super kick a nod to the Bucks? Could have been a nod to Shawn Michaels. Young Bucks did not invent the super kick, but you might be right. Might be a nod to him, or to them, I should say. Psycho Jet Black with a $2 super chat says, who has the better pyro, Cody Rhodes or Kevin Nash? Cody Rhodes. Nash had decent promo back in the day, but Cody's got the whole arena smoke filled. So it was pretty intense. Walter Cruz with a $5 super chat says, so Cody can't beat Balor without Edge, but he's going to beat Roman. I don't like that Edge had to distract. That wasn't the best booking decision. Not necessarily. I think if you're building up Balor for Edge, you want to keep Balor strong in defeat. And it's not a given that Balor would have hit the move in the first place. He was on the verge of hitting it. If he had actually hit it and went for the cover and Edge distracted the referee, I think that would have made Cody look weaker than Balor going for the move. But thank you for the super chat, Walter. And Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat. Said, who's scarier, Asuka or the SummerSlam Joker? That Asuka makeup was pretty scary, and she was a bit scary on Raw tonight. But having said that, nothing is scarier than that SummerSlam Joker. So anyways, that was all for Raw, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the live stream. Thank you all so much for tuning in. If you did like the video, please give it a like on YouTube. If you're watching this on Facebook or Twitter, head over to youtube.com/AaronRiftNoDQ and subscribe if you haven't already. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the very latest news and rumors. Have a great night, everybody. And remember, say yes to NoDQ.com and to the USA Network. Please change out your commercials. I'm sick and tired of the Sheesh commercial for Pizza Hut, and I'm sick and tired of the K Jewelers commercials. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you all next time.